What's going on, guys? Nico here, coming back with the video today. So today we're going to be playing Satisfactory. So this is going to be episode 1 of pretty much my journey throughout. I believe it's update 8, 8 point something. But yeah, we're just going to kind of have a look at pretty much all the new stuff that's been added. But more so just go from start to finish, and however long the series is however long the series is. I do enjoy playing this game. It's been a while since I have played it actually, so just with me. But I believe if we press V, that will scan away. We got a few baddies down there. We'll see what resources we can scavenge from. I believe 4 damage a thing in the game too, so we'll just be a little bit careful. But yeah, hopefully you guys like the series, and of course if you guys do, feel free to leave a like, comment and subscribe, as that will definitely help support the channel, and also kind of shows me kind of if you guys enjoy the content itself. And if of course you guys do, I will definitely keep on making videos in regards to the game. Let's have a look. So I believe they've actually potentially added new enemies. I could be wrong, but at least from what I saw. Have these boys charge us. So you can pretty much have them charge you, and then you can just jump over them like so. So it usually takes a few hits to kill one. So I would prefer if they did come over here, because I would like the remains that they got.
The remains of this creature might shed light on how to increase chances of survival. A new research tree can now be accessed in the man.
Just like so. So we'll see what is saying. So we need modular frame. We will not find on the ground here. No chance. I'd be really shocked if they provided what you would need, and I believe you need a power source to open them. So yeah, we'll grab the resources. Isn't too bad. 500 wire, 210. We even got quite a few reinforced iron plates. Yeah, that is low-key massive. That will speed up progression a lot when we start building the constructors, I believe. So we'll go check out where these iron nodes are, and we'll go from there. But yeah, the game itself looks very beautiful from when I last played it. So I believe, yep, so there'll be a limestone node there. This will be 3 iron nodes, if I'm not mistaken. Got to deal with the fellow enemies real quick, eh? So I think there might be a few more. Mistaken. Ah. And I believe from memory, this over here is a copper node. And then you got a limestone node here, which is used, I believe, for concrete slabs or something like that, I believe. Didn't even notice there was an iron node here too, which is nice. So we got plenty of leaves, as you can see, which is good because we're going to need that for future. So we'll get into it. So basically we're just going to break these nodes on top of the iron. So we can see this is pure.
To this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution. Ensure the hub.
We'll just skip the dialogue. So we can see that these nodes here are pure, which is good because I believe there is 3 types of nodes. Pure, impure, and I believe it might be called normal or something. So yeah, if we have pure, it's going to give us the highest output. So the output could be 3, and then impure could be 1. I'm just not really sure the numbers. That looks like a slug. So I could go get it right now, which I think I might, because otherwise I'll forget. And if we just clear up some of the grass here, what we'll do is we'll actually place our hub, what it's called. It's been a while since I've played the game. So create the hub about, get it on, rotate it, and I think so this side here will be where the burners are. So what we'll do is we'll keep about, yeah. And if, of course, if we need to move it at any point, we can easily. So we'll see what this is going to provide.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal. Fifth objective, complete Hub Upgrade 1. Note, the Craft Bench and Hub Terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
So that's a few of these. So let's see what this is going to provide us. So it's going to provide us the workshop, which is going to be used to craft a portable miner. There will be some extra inventory slots, so we definitely can't complain. So we're going to need 10 rock. Be able to make very, very quickly. So we'll just transform all these iron ingots that we've crafted into the iron rods. I know we'll need a few extra ones. Like so. Upgrade. Might put the fuel in here. So to upgrade to.
You have unlocked Building Workshop, Equipment Portable Miner, Inventory Additional Slots, Hub Feature Personal Storage. Sixth objective, complete Hub Upgrade 2. Note, portable miners require no power and will mine a node until their inventory is full. Note, multiple portable miners can be used on a single node.
Good to know the dialogue. The game's got a pretty good a very, very well made tutorial. So yeah, this whole section, thought I'd grab this worm too, and it's a blue power slug. So you'll see what these will be used for later. But yeah, so anyway, so the first tier itself with...
This semi-slug seems to emit unfamiliar energy readings which could potentially be retrofitted into Fixit technology. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Yeah, as you can see, the dialogue itself provides a really, really good understanding of tutorial throughout the game. These first few tiers for tier 0 is the tutorial phase. You can actually skip it when you're creating a new world. However, I tend to like doing the tier 0, even though it's very tedious, but to me, it's kind of very enjoyable and relaxing from time to time. So, with this power slug, what we're actually going to do is we are going to place it in. Now we won't need it. Same with remain killing those blokes from before. So what we need to do now is probably to craft the workshop. We are missing 6 plates. So what we'll do is we'll make quite a few iron plates. The reason for this is if we make a few, I believe the portable miners are going to require most likely the iron plates and the iron rod to make. And that's going to just help produce the ore that we're needing at a much quicker rate. So what we'll do is we'll quickly get plates. Crafted 10. Did 2. 1. Workshop. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of place it right here like so. So to make the portable miner, we can make 2. So we'll make 2 now. And what we'll do is we will place inventory. And we'll place it. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to mine this ore here at a much quicker rate than what we can too. But also because it's going to be automated. As you can see, producing 80 per minute, which is pretty good. I believe the maximum stack is 100. I believe if you get some sort of mods in the game itself, that can go up to about 500. That could be wrong. And if we hold control and left click, that will fast move everything from, you know, such and such into inventory. So while that is running, what we're going to do is we're going to place this back into our end slot, and we're going to run over to this copper node over. So despite we don't need copper right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do this because when we upgrade to the next tier in the hub, it's going to require us to get copper. So if we get some copper starting to at least produce through the portable miner, that will kind of pick up our pace a little bit through these early tiers. and we'll place it in our hands and like so. So you can see again, pure node. This is actually really fantastic. I don't know if the changes in the game itself is there's only pure nodes. I couldn't tell you at this point in time. But yeah. So while that is currently producing, we'll run back. We'll see what we need to get to the next tier. So if you look to our left of our screen, you got a few hints. The tutorial, it's telling us to, for one, make the workshop, which we've done. For two, make the portable miner, which we've done. Press Q to open the build menu, and buildings can be dismantled without any loss of resources, which is an important thing to know because it means that we can actually dismantle such and such. And you can see in the middle here, we've actually got these leaves, flowers, and wood plug, and the resource that the animals that we killed before that dropped. They're actually all in our chests. So by dismantling this, we'll actually get every single item back into our inventory, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's just good to know. So we'll go over here, we'll see what we need. So if we actually go to the milestone, we can actually hit select milestone, which what this is going to do is it's just going to track to the top right of our screen what we need to get to the next one. So what we can do is we will start making some more iron ingots, which will then turn into the rods and the plates, which is going to be required to get to the next tier. So the start of this game, as I said earlier, is very tedious. It becomes it's very slow at your own self pace. But as you progress through the next few tiers, you start to unlock a few blueprints and whatnot, just to make the game become a little more automated, which ends up being a lot of fun. We'll make some plates. So we need 10 plates, 18. And just like so, we've got enough to progress to the next tier. Which you can see, it also changes the structural integrity of the hub.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub feature Biomass Burner, Scanner feature Copper, new buildings and recipes which can be found in the build menu and
These look
craft
beautiful.
bench respectively. 7th objective, complete Hub Upgrade 3. Note, connect buildings to a biomass burner for power. Note, buildings such as the smelter require a recipe to be set. Advice, automate the smelting process and use portable miners for optimal results.
So yeah, this is perfect. So what this is going to be is this is going to be our main source on how we're going to generate power for quite a few tiers throughout the game. The biomass burner itself is it's going to require fuel. So for the relevant items, you can see at the top right here, we can either place in leaves, wood, or flower petals, which you might have seen I was collecting. So yeah, so that's the maximum stack of leaves, 500, which obviously burns a lot quicker than wood. And the flower petals also burn much quicker than the leaves. So for the meantime, we're just going to go through the hints on the top left. So we can see that it says hold V, which will show us where our copper node or iron ore nodes are, which we know there's a copper node over there. We definitely have quite a few iron nodes located around our area. So it's saying for us to build a smelter. So the smelter is going to be here. It's going to require wire, which we picked up a lot of wire at that crash location earlier, which you've seen, which is great because it means we don't even need to go collect the copper itself to make the wire for the meantime. And we need 5 rods to make one. But however, if you did need to make wire, all you got to do is you just got to craft some copper ingots. The copper ingots itself is going to require 1 and you'll get 2 wire, which is a very speedy craft as well. To make some cable, what you'll need is some wire, and then you can craft the wire itself into the cables, which are going to be a very useful resource, which you will soon see. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to make some iron ingots. The iron ingots we're going to make into plates and rods. I believe the smelter is going to require rods. So what we're going to do is we're going to make probably about 15 rods for now, as it's a very easy resource to come by. And then what we're going to do is we're going to craft a smelter about here. So we can see that from the right side of the machine, we can have the resource kind of go through the machine and the outputs on the right there. But for now, we're just going to place it right here, as we will probably move this much later. What we're going to do now is, now that we've crafted that, we're going to run over to our portable miner. We're going to collect the 100 resources inside. We're going to then run back over to the smelter. And by pressing E on the smelter, we can select whether we want to smelt iron ingots or copper ingots. We're going to place the iron ingots inside like so. You can see on our hotbar down the bottom, if I press 2, we're going to bring up the power line, aka the cables, which is the resource that we're going to need to power this. We're going to left click onto the smelter over to the biomass burner, which looks phenomenal, as I believe they've changed the skin of what they used to look like. By pressing E onto this, we can put the relevant fuel, which is required, and it's going to basically provide the required power to basically produce whatever we would like in the smelter. We can see we're using 4 whatever the currency or unit or metric is. I believe it's megawatts, could be wrong, but you can see we are using 4. The capacity is 20, so we definitely know we've got more than enough power that we're generating to be able to produce whatever it is we're asking for the smelter. So you can see that it's going to smelt the iron ingots for us at a much quicker rate, which is fantastic. And what we might do for now is we might even build another one, just so we got another one going. And for this one here, we won't be able to actually use it just yet, because we need to unlock the power posts, I believe. So we'll actually run over here. So we can see from doing that, we unlocked smelter, power line, the copper, ingots, wire cable, and of course the scan. So for upgrade 3, what we're going to get is the constructor. We're going to get the pole, which is what we need to basically place the wires into. This is when we start getting concrete, and you can see we've actually already got some reinforced iron plates and some screws, which we will soon see what we'll need them for. But for now, we'll select the milestone. What we need is 20 wires, which we definitely have a lot of. So we need some rods. So what we'll do is we'll run over to the smelter that's currently smelting the iron ore into the ingots for us. We'll pick up the ingots. We'll run over to the crafting station, and we're going to make some plates. So we need 20 plates. So for now, that's enough plates. We also need 20 rods. So you can see for relevant items, this is also really nice to keep track of what we need. And we're going to, again, control left click onto the resources required and hit upgrade module or hub.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Scanner Feature Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 8th objective, complete hub upgrade 4. Note, use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results.
Alrighty, so first thing is telling us that we can expand the power, etc. that we're going to be able to provide. So if we press 1 for the power pole, we can place a power pole here, but again, we need the resource. So first thing first is going to be, we're going to need some limestone. So we'll see where limestone is going to be located. We have one over there, but I believe we won't be able to get to it at this point in time. So we'll have to probably run over to this one over here. Raw quartz. Very interesting. But what we're going to do before we even do that is we're going to go pick up the copper ore. Just to kind of keep the portable miner running. So yeah, we'll collect this, we'll run back, collect the other lot, and then what we will do is we will actually make another portable miner. So the portable miner we're going to be crafting at this point in time is going to be used for the collection of the limestone, which you will soon see its use. Alrighty, so if we make some plates, can't remember off the top of my head how much a portable miner requires, but if we make some for now, which is good. While I'm here too, you can see we can make reinforced iron plates. They're going to require 6 iron plates, 12 screws, and to craft screws, what you need is you need to use 1 rod and you'll get 4 screws. So just for future reference. So we'll make one of these. So yeah, so when we collected those resources before, you can see we ended up getting quite a few screws and a lot, and I mean a lot of reinforced iron plates. So it's going to actually speed up progression, I would say a lot quicker, or even a lot easier. So we'll run over to this limestone node that we'll be using for now. We'll place this into our hand just in case we come across any blokes that might attack us. So the good thing about the compass at the top too, we can see that you know, we're going towards the limestone. And you know, if you ever get lost and you're not sure or remember where your base is, that's okay, because if I turn around, you can see it's going to show where the hub is. So in other words, don't be afraid to explore the area. Alrighty, so you'll notice that at the limestone, there is no rock on top we need to break. You'll also notice that it is a normal rated node. So for now, it's definitely going to have to do. So we'll put this portable miner in our hands, we'll place it, and we're actually going to wait here a little bit just to collect a few limestone. You can see that with the pure node, it was saying 80 per minute. So for this one, it's 40. Because it is limestone, it is possible that the pure node could be 60 per minute. So you can obviously see the metric itself is going to be lower. So for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to collect some resources, because we're actually going to need these at some point, and we're going to basically go through fuel very, very quickly. So for the meantime, in terms of efficiency, while we're waiting for this limestone, which we're going to need, we'll just collect some fuel. And yes, of course, collect wood, as that will be a much more valuable resource and will burn through a lot less quick. Alrighty, so we'll see how much we got. So we got about 40, which we'll do with for now. We'll run over just to kind of keep progression going. And yeah, but yeah, just a quick question too, guys. If any of yous have actually played this game before, feel free to leave a comment. You know, leave a comment what tier or progression part of the game you've been up to before. And just, you know, kind of let me know about your own experience, if, you know, if you've liked the game and stuff like that. Because I definitely think it's an incredible game. But again, you know, you guys might have some more criticism towards the game, so going back over to our base here. Also, he is friendly, and you can actually jump on top of him and you'll bounce high from memory. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need, because we want to craft some poles, we're going to need some concrete. So to get some concrete, we're going to have to craft it with the limestone that we had obtained. So you can see it's going to require 3 limestone for the 1 concrete, which is definitely a lot. The first thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to build a constructor. So the reason for this is, as you can see, it requires 2 reinforced iron plates and 8 cables. So the reason I want to create the constructor isn't just because the constructor itself can craft the iron plates or rods from the ingots, same with the wire into the cable, but because I actually want it for the concrete, because concrete is a resource that we're going to be using a lot. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a pole. We're going to hook up this pole into the smelter here. We're going to hook this pole up again into the constructor here. We're going to dismantle by pressing F onto this cable, which will give us the resource back. We're going to then hook up this pole again to this smelter that we're currently using. And then, because if you look, we have one extra free spot for the wire. We're going to hook this up to the burner, and hopefully we haven't produced more power, which we will eventually soon see. So by coming over to here, we can see we have no iron to put in there. By selecting copper ingot, we can then place the copper ingots or the copper ore into the smelter. We'll run back over to this portable miner, collect our iron ore. And just like so, we are smelting some ingots for copper and iron, which is going to be awesome. It'll basically speed things up a little bit. You'll see that we don't have any limestone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run over to that limestone node that we were just at, which will definitely have mined the maximum unit, which will be 100. And while we're here, we might even see if there's anything that we missed. So to make this, we need a modular frame, which definitely... And who knows what little goodies are going to be inside. We definitely haven't missed... Unless there's something that you guys might have seen that I missed, of course. Which is possible. But yeah, so... Again, we're hearing another slug, which I'm going to assume will be on top of that rock. We definitely... up to, unless it's up here. Yeah, slug's definitely going to be up there. We won't be able to get to. Which is unfortunate. So we'll go to the limestone node. Still 100 meters away. Which is a good distance to run. So this is when that smelting process is just going to make things... Constructing process is going to make a whole lot quicker. Especially when we don't have to run it. We'll collect the 100 limestone and we will run back to our hub. This will be more than enough concrete. Whether we need it to progress to the next tier on the hub upgrades, we will still have enough. Won't have to come over here again for now. And running over, just, you know, as I said before, just collecting any sort of resource. Because we're going to, either way, we're going to need it as the fuel source for the early stages of the game. So if you look to the top left of the screen, you can see I'm also in experimental build, early access. The reason for this is the experimental build is actually going to provide update 8, as the live server is currently only providing 7, if I'm not mistaken. So coming over to our hub upgrades, we can see in tier 0, we got hub upgrade 4. What this is going to do is it's going to provide us the conveyor pole, more so importantly the belt and a few extra inventory slots, which is nice, but mainly what we were looking for is these two upgrades here. So by clicking this, we can see we have enough concrete currently, which is fantastic, but we're going to place the limestone that we have collected into this constructor here, which is going to start making some concrete for us. And we will go back over here. We're going to need 75 iron plates, which is definitely a lot. So we will start making some of these. As you can see, for the amount of iron plates we can craft, we probably won't have enough to get to 75 at this point, but because we have our smelter going, we will most likely have more than enough ingots over there at least. We've got enough cables. We'll just make probably 30. We'll place these in like so. You can see we're still going to need a few plates, so we'll come over here, collect our iron ingots, which is the part where, you know, requirements itself to progress through the game become, I don't know, more demanding, but you do have ways throughout the game to start automating things to make, you know, the early stages of the game a little bit easier. We've got plenty of plates here, which is good. So the conveyor belt itself is going to require some iron plates, so we're just going to craft a few extra ones for now. While we're here, we might just go quickly pick up this resource, start getting a few more iron ingots, because we're going to need that. And we might even check our fuel levels on our biomass burner, just to ensure that we're still producing our resources here. We'll pick up our copper ingots too. So we can see we do have enough leaves, which is fantastic. And we'll come over to our storage real quick and we will place sources on. So we got plenty of leaves, which is... We'll come over here, we'll finish off the upgrade and we'll look at the upgrade to the hub. And we'll notice any... And we'll look for any kind of differences being made.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building, conveyor belts and poles. Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective, complete hub upgrade 5. Note, portable miners cannot be connected to conveyor belts. Advice, when planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Alrighty, so you can see now we can start to use conveyor belts, which is awesome. You can see that to use the belt itself, well, the pole, we're going to need 1 concrete, 1 rod and 1 plate. And then the actual conveyor belt is going to require less, but because it's actually using, because we need to place the pole, it's going to require the resources, but realistically it only costs 1 iron plate for 1 belt, which is good. So what we're going to need to do next is we're going to actually look what module or upgrade we're looking to go towards next. So this here is going to give us the miner mark 1, the storage container, which is going to be fantastic, but what this miner mark 1 is going to do is it's going to extract the resources automatically for us, which is going to be able to set up a few little items to just start pretty much automating the whole process. But for the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to need to make some wires. So, but first what we'll do is we'll get some rods. So we'll kind of just get all the resources that we currently have. And just like so, we will have enough to go to the next stage, potentially. So we need quite a few cables, so we'll craft the 50 cables, which we... Second. So the reason why I'm progressing to the next tier without using any of the belts so far is so I can actually start setting up my factory accordingly to the way that I'd like. So we need 75 rods. Once these rods are crafted, I'm going to go actually pick up the iron ore again from the portable miner and we'll place it over into the smelter for the meantime. And just like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next tier for the meantime, which will be able to set up our factory a lot easier.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building miner mark 1, building storage container, hub feature, additional biomass burner. 10th objective, complete upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
Another thing too is if you actually go into the builder menu here and you press the keybind you would like it to go to, I believe it will place it down the hotbar. So if I press 5 on the miner mark 1, it will place it down there. So in the order you're going to want it is the miner mark 1, because you're going to be wanting to extract the ore from the earth. Then smelter will be the primary one, which will be the next one. However, the constructor is used first, as you don't actually smelt limestone to create concrete. But for the meantime, we'll go smelter, and then for number 7, we'll go the constructor. And then for the storage compartment of it, we will go over to the container and press A, which is going to help us be able to set up our factory. So for the meantime, what we're going to be wanting to make is a Mark 1, because that's going to be the first thing we're going to need to make. But so you can see we got enough concrete. You're gonna see as well that we're gonna need quite a bit of concrete too. So For the meantime, what we can actually do is we will actually make another miner Mark 1. Or another portable miner, sorry. So we're going to need some rods for this to happen. We'll make some iron plates as well. Which again, you'll see in a very, very quick second. So we're going to make this miner Mark 1. Which we'll need a portable miner for. We're then going to actually go over to this node over here. So in case you didn't actually know what we can do to actually get up to this node, which is why I didn't bother going over to before, because I'm assuming you don't have an access point behind. So we can actually left click onto where we want to place this. And so if I actually rotate this, this will be probably work a bit better. So we can actually left click and then we can kind of build up. If we can find a spot that we can actually build it on, of course. We'll rotate like so. And just like that. Now we can actually access up to this node, which is fantastic. So for the meantime, this is what we're going to be using this for while we're setting up this area. So we're going to break this limestone. It should break in a second. Yep, fantastic. So now we're going to be placing the miner Mark 1. And we're going to be wanting to set it up so it's producing out this way. We're going to need a power pole at some point. And we're going to need these power poles to basically connect the power cables to, as they can only travel so far. But for the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to connect this power line pole. And then what this is going to do is it's going to basically bring the resource down. But what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to have to get rid of all this stuff as we're currently up here, which is good. And then we'll have a means of transport down, etc. So we'll place this conveyor pole to about here, and then we'll go down like so to about probably here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this around here. Despite it's going to cost a little more resource, we're going to build this away from these nodes here because we're actually going to be using them, and we're going to make this area as compact basically as possible as we can. But for now, so we can actually make the constructor, and we'll place it here. We'll connect another pole here, and we'll hook this one up here when we got more. We're going to need more iron plates, but for the meantime, what we can do is we can put, this is constructing concrete, and we'll run over. And we actually have enough limestone, which is for us. So we're going to need some more cables, which we remember. So we'll make a few cables. We're going to need some rods. Most likely, because it tends to happen. We're going to need quite a few iron plates. And I reckon that's probably enough. So we'll go over to the constructor now, get some concrete slabs. We'll also have a look while we're here at the next upgrade and what we're going to require to get to there. So if you look at the rewards, you can see we're going to unlock this, which will be in time. We'll explain the purpose of this. But more so importantly, you're going to see we can now craft our own biomass burners as well as create biomass, which is a source of fuel. Which, again, you'll see exactly kind of what it is. But yeah, so for the meantime, we're going to craft another pole about here for now, or even we might start placing them a little closer to our hub. We're going to hook these two up. We're then going to get rid of this power line. We're going to, for now, we're going to hook this one up. And then we're going to insert fuel. So we've got plenty of fuel in both of these here. And then we're going to start making some power poles, and we're going to bring them over here. So again, we're going to try our best to keep everything nice and tidy and kind of away. So we'll bring this pole here, and just like so. So now, with this hooked up to power, if we of course aren't tripping it, this should start producing the limestone, which is then going to come down in constructor here, which is then going to craft into concrete, but we need to hook this up to power. So, as you can see, we have it coming down, and then what we can do is we can actually make a storage container, which we're going to bring, for now, we'll just probably place it here, so just out of the way. And just like so. Now what's going to happen is this is going to craft into concrete. The concrete's going to come down and it's going to place itself in the container, which is fantastic. So for now, while that is operating, you know, we can kind of just walk away and let it do its thing. So we're going to need a lot of concrete. You can see we're going to need quite a bit of iron rods and iron plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to start making basically more setup for iron, I would probably say. So what we'll do is while we're here, we'll place the wire into this. And so the concrete itself we won't have to worry about. Have a look at how our ingots are going, which we don't have too many because we need to place more into again. But what we might do is we might pick up this. So if we pick up the miner, it will completely dismantle it and get all the items in the inventory of it. We place the miner mark one here, and we're going to make this as compact as we possibly can try to do. So we're going to get rid of this constructor as we won't need it because that was mainly used for the limestone over there. We're then going to place a smelter like so, just in front. Hook this up here like so. And then we're going to wire both of these machines to this pole. We're then going to select iron ingots. We're then also going to make constructor right next to it like so. Going to need more iron rods. Or iron plates, I should say. I believe I only need 2 iron to hook these. Which we probably could have hooked them up a little bit closer, but that's okay. We're then going to hook up the wire from this pole to this constructor here. We're going to construct iron plates like so. What we're going to do is we're actually going to get rid of this smelter completely. And then we are then going to hook up this pole to this pole. So now what's going to happen is that's going to produce the iron ore, like so. Going to move it into the smelter, make the iron ingots, which is going to move down into our constructor, and then craft into iron plates. So assuming we don't produce more power than we're actually can create, should make the iron plates like so. So now the option would be to kind of craft another miner Mark 1, make another similar process like we did with our smelter and our constructor, and then construct rods. But if we go over to our pole, we can actually configure it and have a look at our power consumption. So we've got 22 out of 40. So we can actually see that we could probably actually make another one and start producing rods. But as soon as that consumption gets over to the capacity, it's going to shut down the power completely. So while we've got some iron plates cooking up, what we can do is we'll go collect some of this concrete, which we're definitely going to need. So you can see the pace of the belt for what the resource moves at is slow, but if you can see, it's actually called Mark 1. So that's going to imply that we're going to get upgrades for our belts, which are going to increase the overall speed. So we got 53 here, which is actually fantastic because we only need 50 for the upgrade, which is exactly what we might actually do. Got 12 plates, so we got 28 plates there. So to make that, we need 10. So what we might actually do is we've got enough rods, we've got enough plates, we'll make another portable miner. So we can make a miner Mark 1 again. We're then going to head over. We're going to place it on here like so again. We're then going to place a smelter, a constructor, which we're going to need more cables. So even though we need 2 more cables, we're going to craft a few extra ones, because we're going to need them to wire everything up. So picking up this wire at the start of the game, which is this resource here, actually kind of helped us progress things a lot quicker, and getting those reinforced iron plates too. We were very, very lucky to stumble across those. So for now, we're going to select iron ingots. We're going to hook these 2 up like so. We're then going to craft a constructor like so. Then going to make a storage container at some point, but we can't right now, which is okay. And we're going to construct iron rods. So now, if we place a pole, hook all 3 of these machines up, and then hook this power cable up to even this one here, this should start crafting iron rods for us. And of course, we don't have the required amount of iron rods to make storage containers. But what we can do is we'll come over here and we will transfer some fuel over like so. Because we actually did just run out of fuel. We'll place all of our fuel back in here. Alrighty, so now what we got here is we've got a automatic or automated system to make iron plates, which is fantastic. We have an automated system to make iron rods. And we got one to make the concrete slabs. So these 3 resources are clearly going to be a very important resource to make, because it's basically the first one, which means that we're always going to be constantly wanting them, especially the iron plates and rods. But for now, because we did get plenty, we can actually make some storage containers. So what we can do is, with these storage containers, is we can place one like here. We can actually then stack them as well. So we don't have the iron rods required, but we can actually stack these containers on top of each other. So this one is going to go into the storage container. Going to move all the iron plates into it like so. And we will get some iron rods, and we will make another storage container on top. And just like so, it's going to transport all these rods into the container, just like these plates. We could move this container closer, but for now we'll just leave it there. Just keep it in its own little section. And when we come back over to here, we'll see that we have enough concrete. We don't have enough rods and plates at the moment to go to the next tier. But what I'll do is in the recording is I'll pretty much speed this up a little bit so you don't have to actually watch this part of the game, as obviously I'm just going to be waiting for these rods and plates to gather up and to be made. So I'll speed up to that part where I upgrade the hub again, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so we're back now. We've got the required amount of resources to upgrade the next tier. So we're going to go do that. We're going to go see what it looks like. We're going to see what is going to be required for the tier after that. Like so, we'll place the required resources in, hit upgrade hub.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Space Elevator, Building Biomass Burner, Part Biomass. Motivational message. Congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols. Note: future developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and, as such, initiating project assembly. Good luck.
Alright, so we've ran out of power, so we're going to go see what is going on with our biomasses. We don't have enough for Lee's in that one. Probably don't have enough in this one either. Yep. So we'll make sure these are pretty much running at all times, because if these turn off and they trip or anything, we're kind of just losing resources a lot of the time. So to get to the tiers after, we need to actually craft the space elevator. So for now, it's not something we really need. So tier 1 and tier 2, we're going to have a look at what we can kind of get. So in tier 1, we've got base building, which is probably going to be a priority because I'd like to have these foundations that we can kind of craft pretty much right away, so then we can kind of start crafting or creating a certain factory or a certain compact area that, for all these mining equipment, etc. So this will be a priority. We can see the cost of it as well isn't too expensive. Logistics, we're going to see we get the splitter, the merger, the lift itself. So this is going to be probably the first thing I'll be getting, depending on the cost of what the other ones are. The field research is going to be relatively cheap. It's going to provide the map, which might be pretty handy. The MAM, which is going to be the researching machine, I believe. Tier 2, we're going to get the part assembly, which is going to be the assembler, which is going to be the newest machine, which is going to craft those modular frames that we're needing down at that crash site earlier. Obstacle clearing will give us the chainsaw. It's going to give us biofuel, which is going to be a resource for fuel, a better resource. It's also going to be the resource required to use the chainsaw, which will be really good for fuel. Jump pads itself is really good to get around the map, but we don't need these at this point. It's also extremely costly, as you can see. I'm not too sure what this is for. This is probably just more for a bit of fun, more than anything. Logistics Mark II is going to give us the Mark II, aka the quicker belts, which is actually going to use these reinforced plates, if I'm not mistaken. So for the meantime, what we're going to probably focus on first is the logistics side of things and the base building, so that way we can kind of get the base layout we want. We can also then split the resources from the miner Mark 1s into multiple smelters and multiple constructors as well, which is going to just provide a more efficient factory per se. But yeah, but for the meantime, we will probably get this one done first, because we're going to need both of them done anyways. But for the meantime, we'll probably leave the video here. If you, of course, did like the video, feel free to leave a like. Comment, of course, if you already haven't. Comment your most favorite part. Comment, also just comment like if you've played the game before. Tell me what's your favorite part of the game. But yeah, other than that, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Of course, if you'd like to see more, as there's going to be following parts to this playthrough. But other than that, guys, I'm Nico, and of course, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.